Hey everybody, this is the Slightest Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about a very special show that came out on Disney Channel back from 1999 to 2001. It was Disney Channel first and only spooky, scary type show. And that show is So Weird. Now, when this show came out, I was probably like in the 10th grade, and I didn't even know it existed because I didn't have cable back then. I didn't get cable till my senior year of high school, and that's when the third season came out. And the third season is not that great at all. It has a much lighter tone because the first two was just a little bit too creepy for kids. And when Disney Channel found out that the main character was supposed to go down into the underworld and rescue her dead father from the demons, they said, no. And went a much lighter tone in the third season, which caused the two showrunners to leave the show. But it is a very good show. I remember when this show did come on in production, I saw the intro. I'm all like, why is there a panther and why did it appear out of nowhere and why does it have glowing eyes? This looks dumb. Bye. I made a good decision because, like I said, the third season's not that great, but the first two seasons are great. Now, how did I get into this show if it got canceled and stuff like that and Disney Channel no longer shows it? A couple of years when I was in college, I liked to watch like horror movie type stuff during Halloween. I decided to ditch my DVDs and go like the YouTube route and see what they had on there. And I watched a bunch of movies I never heard of before, and then I was like, as I was searching for Halloween type stuff, I came across something on Disney Channel that says So Weird and it's spooky, blah, 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 stuff like that. So I looked on YouTube and boom, it was there. It's not there no more. But you can watch it on Disney Plus. And this was Disney Channel's attempt to be the X-Files. The whole, are there really aliens out there or not? But this deals with aliens, robots, clones, demons, monsters, vampires, werewolves, trolls, Will-O-Wisp, you name it. It was a great freaky deaky type series. And Disney Channel has never tried to reboot it. It has never tried to come anything close to trying to make it. And I wish they would because this series is amazing. Now, I'm pretty sure there are still some episodes in bad quality like on YouTube. But yeah, it's gonna be bad quality. But just get Disney Plus and just watch it there. Now, at one point, they did take down the entire series for some reason. I guess it scared the little kids and everything. But then, after so much demand to put it back on there, they put it back. Seriously, man, kids ruin everything. I swear. But anyways, so this show deals with a girl, our protagonist, named Fiona. They call her Fee for short. And she has this ability to like sense out like the paranormal. It always comes to her. The same thing happened to her father. Her father died when she was 3 because he kept searching for all this paranormal stuff. And the paranormal said, you're going to stay out of our business or we're going to kill you. And they end up killing him. So she has a brother named Jack, and he doesn't believe in the paranormal whatsoever. Even when he see freaky stuff happening, he just like, oh, it's the wind. Now, she has a mom named Molly Phillips, and Molly Phillips is this big time like music rock star type person, and they tour around the country, with their friends. Clue, his dad Ned, and mom. The mom barely shows up. Clue shows up for a good couple episodes, but then he gets replaced with his cousin Carrie. So every episode is narrated by Fee, and pretty much the premise of the show goes like this, or the format I should say. So she narrates. They go into a different town. There's something freaky going on. It gets attracted to her. She starts snooping it out. And then like all this freaky stuff starts happening. And then she ends up saving the day while her brother's in total denial. But then she gets closer and closer and closer to find out what happened to her dad. Her father actually talks to her via the internet because she has this website called So Weird where she posts all this paranormal stuff, and he actually communicates to her through the internet, but she doesn't know it's him. And he's telling her about something that's going to happen to her and her family in the future where they're going to end up dying, and they have to avoid taking this one road. And yeah, their bus nearly goes off the road and they're nearly killed. The first episode, family reunion, is so freaky. So she keeps seeing this little ghost boy. The boy is unable to talk to her, but he keeps popping up and showing around. Then next thing you know, all this water starts to like leak out from the walls, and water is just like flooding the whole room, and the camera turns a different angle, and they're holding on to the rails, and it's just like all this freaky stuff. Turns out, so then she goes to investigate what could be going on, this little boy, and she finds out this boy was a part of like this cruise ship. I believe it's called it's either the ISS or the USS Franklin, and that's a real life ship. Back in the day, when it was about to dock, it flipped over on its side and it killed 844 people. It's basically the Titanic of its day and stuff. And that was kind of cool that they incorporated this real life story into the show. And so when she discovers all this, the boy is able then to reunite with his family and stuff. So they're able to find his grave site. And it was just like a freaky deaky type episode. And this is Disney Channel of all things. This is before Disney Channel became Disney Channel. This was back when they were doing like the Zoo Disney thing, and they had shows like Even Stevens and Liz McGuire. Liz McGuire is the one that changed everything. Because, you know, they used to have shows like The Jersey, and you don't see shows like that no more on Disney Channel. Now it's all about like the females, and they're doing like this, they're either a pop star or a witch or something or another, you know. There's an episode where Fee's out in the woods and she is lost, and she is rescued by Bigfoot. Rebecca is such an endearing story. Rebecca was the childhood friend of Molly, Fee's mother, and all of a sudden, Rebecca just disappeared. She just went out. Well, she just didn't know what happened to her. All her stuff in the house just disappeared. And so when Molly is out on the road, she sees this girl that looks like Rebecca. And so the Rebecca girl constantly keeps like following Molly around. Well, Fee's trying to figure out why. It turns out it is, in fact, Molly's childhood friend. Her family are immortal. They can't stay in one place for too long because people start asking questions and stuff. So she tells her straight up, you have to reveal yourself to my mom. She has been like devastated for like decades thinking you're dead and stuff. Well, so she finally convinces, okay, I'm gonna meet your mom. So Fee takes her mom to Rebecca's house, and boom, everything's gone again. She has disappeared, and it leaves Molly devastated. They just cannot, her and her family cannot reveal themselves. There's an episode where they're at like a carnival, and Jack is like befriended a girl. Fee thinks this girl is a ghost because this girl is always appearing and disappearing. It turns out this ghost named Gabe is not a ghost at all. It is a girl who hates her life. She's stressed out because she is dying of cancer. So she uses her astral projection to like, you know, go about and have fun. This is a heartbreaking story. Jack ends up falling in love with the girl, and they communicate via pen pal type stuff. We never see this girl no more, but we keep hearing from her. And it's just really sad that this girl, she knows she's dying. She can't have fun like she used to. So she's letting her spirit form like go out and have fun for her. There's an episode where Ned gets possessed by like a sea captain, a pirate type dude, because they find like this plank of wood out in the sea, and when he touches it, he is possessed. He is beyond crazy and trying to hurt Fiona and his kids and stuff. The Banshee episode is like really cool, and it has a nice song to it. Basically it's like this. Every episode has like a song to it. So the Banshee, Fee follows the Banshee. It tells her that we're gonna take your grandfather. It's his time to die. And Fee's all like, no, like you can't take my grandfather. And it's this big, momentous, heroic type thing where Fee is literally just like mouthing off to the Banshee, talking about how like you took my father, you're not gonna take my grandfather. What is this whole purpose thing you're talking about? What is this thing that y'all keep following me around and all this other stuff? And then the Banshee's all like, all right, whatever, we'll leave your grandfather alone for now. And it's just like this really powerful moment with the special effects, and it's just, it's cool, man. The Will-O-Wisp episode where it possesses Jack's body, basically it's like this. The underground is aware of Fiona. They are not happy, just like they're not happy with the father. But they also are so scary, they're scared of other demons and other folklore things. The will-o-wisp wants to get away from all that. It possesses Jack's body. It tells Fiona, if you can figure out my name, I will get out your brother and stuff. This is one of the better episodes where Jack can act. Like, the dude can act no matter what, but this is one of his best episodes. And so Fiona's trying to figure out what's happening, but then she starts getting clues to what happened to her father. And so the will-o-wisp is all like, all right, fine, look. Do not try to figure out my name. I will tell you about your father. I will tell you why we keep falling, all this other stuff. But she wants her brother back. So she figures out the dude's name. She says it. And she gets no information on her brother, on her father whatsoever. And it's so heartbreaking to her because she was so close. So then there's like this cult of vampires that like tries to like lure in little kids that think they're like so smart and make them into their club, and Jack is falling for it. This is one episode where Fiona doesn't save the day. It's Jack that ends up saving the day. And he sees these people for what they are, vampires, but he still does not believe them. And it's an episode where the whole family gets so close to getting like eaten by these vampires. And it's just nuts. There's an episode where Fiona falls in love with this little boy, but it turns out the boy is actually a clone or a robot. I can't remember which one. He's a clone of his dad, the scientist dude. And because this is what the scientist dude used to look like long years ago. And Fiona actually, she figures this out, but she accepts him for what he is. She doesn't care that he's a clone. She just madly fell in love with this dude. And the clone doesn't feel appreciated by his dad. And, you know, he tells him like, look, this is you. You need to like accept, spend more time with this dude and this and that. I forget what happens to the clone. I think the tissue about to like degrade and die or something like that. So there's the episode where this woman is communicating to Fee through the internet. And it turns out this woman has been in a coma for decades. And she's been in there since she was like a little kid and stuff. Turns out the reason why this woman is in a coma and she cannot wake up is because when she was younger, she got lost. And she is still lost in her mind. So Fiona is trying to help this girl. And so as she's communicating with her, she's talking to like her aunt and her mom. And Dionne Warwick is actually in this episode. So like when they communicate with the girl, the reason why she's lost because the terrain has changed, the landscape has changed. They're guiding this girl through like, she's in this like weird spirit type world in the mind. And they're guiding her through the new landscape of the streets and how to get back and how to get to like, I guess like the house, her house or something like that. And when she finally gets into the house, she wakes up and everything. And it's a really cool episode because, you know, the woman's a grown woman. She's in a coma. The little girl that she used to be is the one traveling through like this ghostly type realm type place. And it's just, you don't see that on like Disney. And it's just a cool episode. Now, before the series took a lighter tone, the actress who plays Fiona decided she was going to leave the show. And so they had to write in a new character named Annie. And Annie has this weird spirit guide panther thing. This is when the show just really dipped down in quality because they found out that they were about to go into the underworld, rescue Fiona's dad, and Disney said no. The show got completely corny, it got completely cheesy, it got very comedic. It literally ruined the show. And Disney had the whole rule of only 3 seasons, so of course it got canceled and stuff. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.